We are going to run through step 2 of the process for applying for an employment certificate using the VAE-ECS, which is the employer step. We are going to assume that this is your first time using the system and need to create an account, so we are going to run through the whole process. However, if you've already registered, you can skip these first few steps and immediately log into the system in the top right corner with that login link. So since we're going to register an account, we are going to click on step 2 for employer registration. Now, you'll notice that the first thing that it asks you for is a youth unique identifier. The youth employee who you're looking to hire should have already completed step 1 of the process, and if they did so, it generated one of these numbers for them that they're supposed to provide to you. We are going to use the one that we generated in our walkthrough of step 1. And hit continue. And once you've entered the unique identifier, it is going to ask for some information to register that account. So you'll need to enter an email address, a password, and choose a security question and answer. And once you've got it all entered, go ahead and hit submit. And if you successfully entered everything, you should get this confirmation header up at the top of the next screen. And notice that you are going to need to require validation of the account. What's going to happen is that the system should generate an email with a link to click through for verification. That email is usually going to get generated fairly instantaneously, but in some cases it could take up to 24 hours. So you should get this email, again, automatically generated through the VAE-ECS, and you're just going to want to go ahead and open it and click through this link, and that's going to be the registration authentication. And once you click through that link, it is just going to ask you to enter the password that you chose to verify. And you have successfully registered that account. It is automatically going to go ahead and take you into an application for the employment certificate of the minor whose unique identifier you entered. And first things first, you will need to enter their date of birth. And then it will ask you what proof of age document that you are using as verification of their date of birth. In accordance with Virginia child labor laws, you need to keep on file an appropriate proof of age document for the youth employee, along with the completed signed employment certificate. In most cases, we find that is going to be a birth certificate, but it might be a government-issued photo ID, passport, or baptismal record. Next, it is going to ask you to enter the job title and duties. Job title, you can go ahead and just enter as plain text. And then job duties will be a list of duties that you choose the best match to. Next, it will ask for some basic information about your business. And after entering details about your business, it is going to ask for information specific to the work site where the youth will be working. This is important because if you're going to have the youth employee working at multiple work sites, An employment certificate has to be issued for each work site where they will actually be working. With that being said, if there is a different worksite address from your business's primary address, you do also have the option down here in this corporate box to enter some different information. But again, this set of corporate fields is voluntary. If that matches the worksite, you can go ahead and skip it. It is also going to ask information for the hiring agent. This is essentially our point of contact for the employment certificate in case we have any questions about the sort of work that's being performed or anything else related to the employment certificate. If you're completing this application, more likely than not, it's going to be you. But in some cases, it might be a little bit different, like if you're HR and the youth is going to have an on-site manager. And again, voluntary fields here to enter if your or the hiring agent's worksite is different from the worksite where the youth will be working. Once you've entered all the information for the application, you'll just need to check the box at the bottom as your digital signature and hit the submit button. Now, if everything went through successfully, you should get a confirmation message up top in green. And in your list of applications here, you will see that that unique identifier now has an AP leading it to indicate that it's become an actual application. It is going to show in this status field as application pending until the youth's parent or guardian completes their step and it gets approved. So once you've completed your piece, feel free to contact the youth and let them know that their parent or guardian can complete step 3 of the process. Once the completed application, which is all 3 steps, gets received by the department, it generally gets processed within 1 business day. If the application is approved, you will get an email notifying you that the employment certificate has been issued. If you log back into your account, this EC Downloads box will be populated with a link you can click to download the employment certificate. Now remember, the employment certificate isn't considered complete until it is signed by the youth employee. So you need to ensure that you're printing out the certificate so it can be signed and kept on file at the worksite along with the proof of age document. If a few days go by and you know that everyone has completed their step of the application, but you still don't see any movement here in the system, feel free to reach out to the department's child labor unit for assistance. Otherwise, that's it. If you need to create multiple applications for one employee who's going to be at multiple work sites, or if you're going to be hiring multiple youth employees and need to apply for an employment certificate for each of them, you can select the Create New Application button to get right back into the application screen. As always, if you're experiencing any technical difficulties or have other questions about the process, please don't hesitate to contact us.